I think we're live, buddy.
Yeah, we are live. I like that. I like that.
Well, it was actually a lot bigger. I had different pictures of us in there, um, and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, when I had converted to the MP4, it has to be
Right.
an MP4. It kind of uh, went weird. It like cut at the end there. I don't know why, but anyways,
Hmm. I got a
we got a
question
group.
already about that. I already got it.
Yeah,
Why you have to convert it to MP4? I never have. I just when I use
that's
CapCut, I just do the export, and I just save it to my pictures, my files,
yeah, yeah,
and then once you save it, um, it's there. You don't have
yeah.
then you put it, you send it to your email, and then back to your. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This this
So
is the first time. This is the first time that I used CapCut that I had to do that. I don't
right.
know. I I don't know why. I really don't. You
Hmm.
know me. It was
Yeah.
lucky I got some, but that was supposed to be a minute long, um,
Right.
and it got cut down. I don't know, but anyways, uh, we got a great show today. Sorry, this is
Yeah.
what's the
We
crack
do.
with Baker, Bishop, my co-host as always, and I think you guys will enjoy the show, and we're gonna jump right into it. We'll say hello as we go through here, but thank you all for coming in. Lots of information that are coming up. So why don't we bring on our guest here? Guests,
Yes, sir.
I should say. So we got Bob Baker and Kathleen, and we'll bring them up and let's get started. What's
Hey,
going
hey.
on, guys?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having us on.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure, man. A pleasure. I admire your mustache. I mean, the way all your videos, man, from the shaving. From I was telling Baker last week. Sorry, my dog just got in the room. I was telling Baker last week. It's funny how you grab the mustache and you're so rough with your face. I was like, man, he's not afraid to cut it or anything like that. Because when I trim my beard, I'm always so scared I'm gonna screw it up. Like matter of fact, I got a baby mustache. I just started, it's so
Oh,
that's
it's a
why I have
great
it.
mustache.
But I screw it up right here because I was trying to get it off my lip because
Yeah.
I always get in my mouth. So I squared it off, and I was like, man, I didn't want to cut the mustache off, but you know,
Yeah, that's the big thing. A lot of people they're like, "Oh, I don't want to like chew it," and I had to fight that urge for like the first 5.5 months. And I get it in there, and I'm like, "No, no, I want a long mustache." And
yeah,
yeah, when I first
yeah,
started shaving, I was like, laying my finger down and then shaving. Now I'm just like, go through. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it just takes time, I guess, and you
yeah,
learn how your face is and stuff. But I want to thank the Brewers in the House and Busy Bee Collective K. They're putting all kinds of links into this for your Facebooks, your Instagrams. They're the best mods I have. And they're putting for the links for everything. But what we're here for is we're basically going to talk about this comp that's coming up that got postponed because of weather, which is weird.
yeah.
But we got Operation Whisker Lift beard and mustache competition, and it's going to be happening the 21st Saturday of this month, February.
Yeah, it'll be at Decipher Brewing in Charlottesville, Virginia. And it was originally scheduled for the 31st. Everything was good. And then we were supposed to get some snow. And then they're like, oh, you might get some snow and ice. And what we got was probably about 2 inches of snow. And then it sleeted 4 more inches of sleet on top. And then all of that froze and it just created like this 4 inch layer of ice. I still have some of this snowcrete
Yeah.
outside, and once it froze, I mean, you can't do anything with it. I've got a plastic snow shovel. I've been trying to break it, drive my car over it. And so the one of the vendors, their food truck was stuck. We had judges and other people coming up from the south that couldn't drive that weekend. So we were like, you know what, we'll push it out a couple weeks and give it a little more time, a little more
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for. So, uh, tell us about Operation Whisker Lift, your charity, and any. We all been well. A lot of us have been to competition, so we know pretty much what the categories are. If you have any different ones or whatnot, just kind of go
Yeah,
through it.
ours is a little different.
Yeah, ours is a little different, but I'll start by telling you about the charity. So I started selling Mary Kay cosmetics like last year. So if you're familiar with that, it's Women's Cosmetics. It's a company that's been around since 1963. And I thought, oh, I'll just do this for fun, because I quit teaching and I thought, oh, this will be fun. And then when I got into it, I realized that they are very serious about helping women that have been victims of domestic violence and trying to fund research for women's cancers. They have their own foundation, and that's their twofold mission is victims of domestic violence and women's cancers.
Oh,
And I am a survivor of domestic violence. I am amazed that I'm still here. And, sometimes I look back at it and I wonder, well, why? And maybe so that I can use it for something good. So, the ticket sales, we're also going to have raffles, will go to that foundation.
nice, excellent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
since they
we were.
started, since they started the foundation, they've raised $100 million,
Oh,
and they provide grants to domestic shelters for victims of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And we are actually in communication with a local shelter that we're trying to make sure that they get a grant and that they'll have a little bit
Yeah.
of money from the Mary Kay Ash Foundation.
I just wrote a letter of recommendation to the foundation for them, that they're going to turn in with their packet. So they are actively trying to get a grant from the foundation right now.
excellent. That's awesome. We always like it to be local. Of
Yep.
course, you guys are doing, and there's always a reason why somebody has stayed around, and it looks like this is your reason, to bring. I didn't know too much about Mary Kay, so that is awesome that what you just brought out to the information there. I didn't know that. I just thought it was a cosmetic. Women's cosmetics.
I did
I
too.
didn't know. Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah,
more
me
to
too.
it than makeup. I came to find out, and I went to a it's called a seminar, and basically it's like a big conference for Mary Kay ladies. And I actually ended up like talking to some women, and I found out that some of them are in situations, and I spent a lot of time trying to help them, find them resources. And, it turned out to be like a lot more than just makeup. So that's kind of why I wanted to do something like this. And I've got Bob to help me out. He's known for his mustache, and
Hmm.
What?
he's going to be
It's not like
emceeing it.
nobody knows. Yeah, it's not like nobody knows that famous mustache. I mean,
Exactly.
Well, I'm no Hunter Kelly, but I think I can hold my own.
And I have some different categories that I've come up with, because I want like everyone should be able to participate in this. So we're gonna have best overall beard, best overall mustache. One of the more unusual ones is most bizarre style, and that can be for beard or mustache. So I guess you
Nice.
guys usually call that freestyle, but
Yeah, somewhat, but they're separated. Sometimes it all depends on how big the comp is and stuff. Some of these comps are huge. Of course, nothing as big as Worlds, But they really broke it down. But it all depends on who shows up. Partial category could either be a whaler, chops, and goatee, or they'll do a goatee, they'll do a whaler. So it all depends on who's showing up and how big it is. But I do like that though. That's a little bit of a twist on it.
Somebody asked if Mary Kay sells beard care products.
They do have a men's line. So they do sell like a shave cream, a lotion. Um, yeah, they have like a whole men's line. They don't sell like stuff to like put in a beard, but they
Yeah.
do sell like shaving products.
But
Yeah.
I know a handsome guy that when they do would be willing to model some of their products. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Let me look at the rest of these categories. We do have a category for stubble and shadow because I want guys that don't even have like a beard to participate. Let's see what you have.
Best attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just have stubble, let's see it.
Yeah. And some
Best
people
beard
like that
toss.
style. They just
Yeah.
like the
So if
stubble style too.
oh yeah. So
Right.
if you
Yeah.
have a long beard, best beard toss, let's see it.
You, you see, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I
Then we
like it.
have the Whiskerina Kids Craft beard or mustache. Most hidden objects in a beard. So, how many objects can you hide inside your beard?
Nice.
And then best in show.
That is total
It's unique.
different than the norm. I like it. You
Yeah,
know.
you
Yeah.
throw out a couple more categories that way because almost every time that I'm part of some kind of mustache or beard competition, and I'm going around, I'm like, oh, you got a beautiful beard, you got a beautiful mustache, you need. Oh, I could never compete against
Sure.
you.
Sure you
And
can.
Yeah.
and I'm like, there, you don't understand. It's not, everybody against everybody. It's but at a lot of these, they're lengths, and you got best business beard, and the
Hmm.
goatees and the whalers and the Amish, and
Yeah.
so there's so many different categories. So this has a little bit for everybody. I'm really hoping that we get several ladies and kids to come compete because the competitions are more than just the guys. I mean, Kathleen competed at nationals, she competed at worlds, doing mustache
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
So you don't have to leave them at home, bring them out and let them come see and experience the world of facial hair. We were really hoping that Natalie Johnson would be able to come, but for January 31st, it didn't work out. And I don't think she'll be able to come out, but I was really hoping she would, she was gonna bring some of her stuff and really talk about it. But I think we have a couple people coming, and then not only do we have those categories? There's a lot of cool sponsors and raffle items. Heck, we've even got an author who is going to be bringing books and the proceeds from the books, and will be there.
Yeah, I have an author that she is going to be signing her books and having them in the raffle. And all the proceeds are going to go to the foundation.
Nice.
Nice.
She supports victims that have been through domestic violence, abuse. Like she tries to help them heal
Yeah.
through her writings.
No,
Right.
that is great. Great, great charity. I think those categories are great because and everybody, they'll look at you're your own worst enemy. So you're looking at your beard and, oh, I can't beat those guys. I can't do that. And it's all different kind of categories. It's all broken down. And like when you're up there, you don't know what the judges are kind of looking for. You're bringing your best. You're gonna bring your best, and some people like different colors and stuff like that with the grays and the reds and all that, and you don't know how you're gonna uh, show up, and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and it's just. I tell everybody you go up there for the camaraderie, the
yeah, the
friends,
fun of it.
seeing people, have
Right.
some fun, and if you take a trophy home, you take a trophy home. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
mean, you make so many friends. It's not
charity.
like you go up there and you don't get in the the top three at nationals or whatever,
Yeah.
and they drum you out of town and chase you out with the bell, shame, shame, to get them straight through town naked. No, it's so much fun, and I I I remember so many times being backstage, right,
It's
and
exciting.
being there with
Yeah, it
all the
is.
other guys, and everybody's kind of helping each other out, like, hey, is my mustache kind of straight or whatever, and they're like,
Hmm.
oh, I like
Hmm.
this, and then there's mirrors over there,
Hmm.
and I try to do like a little bit like Arnold would do, like the other guys would stand there. Arnold used to go and he would just mess with the other guys. Guys would be warming up and he'd be standing there lifting a weight. So I'd be, straightening my mustache out and doing all kinds of stuff, and just to
Yeah.
get under their skin a little bit. But all in good fun.
It is.
Right.
It's all fun, but yeah, it was something when I competed in the goatee for Worlds. Now I'm trying to grow my sides out and stuff and just be a regular beard. But you see all the categories and stuff, and of course there was some great goatees there that were down to their knees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just enjoyed looking. I just like you're looking at everybody back there primping themselves up.
Yeah.
They're they're going through with the
And they're
combs
they're just as
and
nervous as you are. These guys that are
yes,
doing
yeah,
it, they're on their 10th
yeah,
nationals, and they're
yeah,
back there nervous. Aaron Johnson, who's a good friend of mine, I see him. He's back there and lint rolling, and he's getting
yeah,
himself
yeah,
ready,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
psyching himself up. And this is a guy that's competed in worlds and nationals and the Great American. He's been around. He's been over in
yeah.
in the UK competing for their competitions, and he's just as nervous as everybody else.
Yeah. But and like I said, you go, you support the charity, you go have some fun, meet some new friends. I met Bob at Worlds. I kind of had the in with the name. I told the story to him before, and I know you guys have heard it too. Like I went to sign up, and they said I was already signed up. Robert Baker was already signed up, and it was this gentleman here. He was already signed up, not me. I was, and they said, no, that's a different one. That's my brother. But um, speaking of the comp, will there be food there? I know you talked about a truck.
Yeah. So it's good we rescheduled it because the food truck was frozen in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
But it is rum punch Jamaican food truck.
Yeah.
Very, very
So
good.
real Jamaican food. So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
And
And
Decipher
we're
Brewing. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say Decipher Brewing, where it's being held at, is an amazing brewery. They've won a ton of awards for their own blends and all that. And they're dog friendly. So if you've got a dog and you don't want to leave them at home, and you got kids or your spouse or something like that, get them all involved and
yeah.
try them out.
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, and that's a big question that everybody asks. There is a couple competitions I've known as that they weren't kid friendly. They were held in like a back of a bar or something like that. But
Right.
I'd say 90% of the competitions are family friendly. Bring your kids. Of course, this one, like you said, dog friendly. So if you don't have a sitter or whatnot, bring your dog
Bring them out.
with you, and that sounds like just an awesome time. That you can have the whole
Right.
family there with you.
Right. And
Yeah,
what I was gonna say,
absolutely.
what I was gonna say was, we're sad they got postponed, but at the same token, if we had not got postponed, we were not able to get you here and kind of
Yeah,
just push a little bit more advertisement.
a lot of things moving.
Yeah.
So
Like we actually, Kathleen posted something I think on Facebook, and the local news crew contacted
Oh
her,
yeah.
and so we went out and they did a wonderful piece. And I mean, the goal is really to bring everybody together. All of the beer competitions that we've been to, they're raising money for one charity or another, whether it's a food bank, animal shelter, troubled teens, so on and so forth. So this is a really good charity event that we can get behind. Um, I think you put out some stats during the interview that 1 out of every 4 women in their life will be a victim of domestic violence, and that's
That's
the
right.
physical type. And then
Yeah.
there's a rate inside of that where those women are usually killed
Hmm.
by their male significant other.
Mm,
But I'm 52, and for a long while, when you think of domestic violence, it's that person that comes to work and they got the black eye, and you're like, oh,
Right.
what happened to you? Oh, I ran into a door,
door,
and
yeah.
everybody knows you didn't run into a door, but it's a lot bigger than that. Um, there's the non-violent side, which is like a social isolation, it's family isolation, it's
Yeah.
financial isolation. It gets to the point where, like, outbursts, and the example I kind of give is every one of us has been out somewhere and you see a couple, and let's say the guy is yelling and degrading at the woman, and we all feel sorry for her, and it's like, oh my
Right.
gosh, she has to go through that.
Hmm.
But there's also, the flip side where it happens to guys as well, where, you see it happen, and most people they look at him and go, "Oh my God, that guy's whipped. Look at him. He doesn't have a spine. What a
Yeah.
coward. What a wimp, and all that." But it's the same kind of thing. So you get to the point where you feel so ashamed, you don't want to go out, and so you wind up never leaving.
Hmm.
Right.
You don't have any money, and then you need to get out of this situation, but like you don't have money and you don't have a car.
Yeah.
So somebody like the Mary Kay Ash Foundation that provides grants to these shelters, it's almost a no-brainer, because most of the time when you run across people and they're like, well, I got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was one person that you kind of knew that the vehicle was not in their name, and all of a sudden the vehicle wasn't running anymore, and they were driving it and got pulled over, and come to find out the taxes hadn't been paid, the registration hadn't been paid, and now that only means of freedom was yanked away. So there's a lot more to domestic violence than
Yeah.
just the punching and the hitting, truly.
There's a
It's,
lot
Oh.
that goes on that's unseen. A lot of what happened to me was very unseen. And
Hmm.
right.
oh, she might
Right.
have an accident,
Right.
Yeah.
I was being pressured to sign an insurance policy, a life insurance policy, and um, certain things were being set up that I might not survive. So there's a lot that goes unseen
Yeah.
that people don't see. Um, and there, I mean, like for me, when I was in that situation, I was very isolated. I was separated from family. I was not to talk to them. I couldn't go grocery shopping by myself. I couldn't go anywhere by myself.
Hmm.
I didn't have any transportation, and I was constantly being demeaned and put down and told that I was worthless, that it was nothing. Um, yeah, it's bad. It's
So
really
yeah,
sad.
there's a lot of people out there like that, and so being able to try to do a charity event where we can give something back to maybe help somebody is real good. And
Yeah.
I'm behind this so much, right? The competition is February 21st, 4 to 7, Decipher Brewing. The monetary goal that we'd like to reach by 7 p.m. is $10,000, right? If
Okay.
we
Right.
hit $10,000, I'm going to shave my mustache off at the end of the event. And maybe I'll put it in a
Whoa.
frame and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's
Well,
how much I believe in it. So it's good
Wow.
stuff.
Who gets
Wow.
to shave it?
I don't
yep.
know. I don't know. I'll have
That's
to
No.
have it
crazy.
styled up. I'm gonna bring a pair. I'm gonna bring at least 2 trimmers, because if one fails, I'm a man of my word, right? I'm not gonna back out and be like,
Right.
well, I was just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
No, if we hit it.
And
But
I don't know that we will. I mean, you may be saved.
it's funny because
you
I've
you
said
you
I've
never
I've
know.
said to some of the other mustache guys, I'm like, if you want to take me out for nationals, right? You want to make sure I'm not there,
That's
competing
right.
against you. You might
There
want to
you go.
contribute it, because the registration fees are like $20. But
Yeah.
if you want to donate $5 or what have you, the link is there. I think it's off of my
Yeah.
link tree as well.
Yeah.
We've had wonderful responses so far from some of the sponsors for the raffle items. Our main sponsor for the competition categories is Bottle Virtue. So
Yeah, they
if you
got
guys
prizes.
if you guys remember the old Can You Handlebar, right? Bottle
Yeah.
Virtue has those formulas, and they brought it back under their name. And I can tell you that the mustache waxes and the beard oils and beard balms are pretty much spot on. We've got some stuff that's going to be donated by Death Grip. Rowback, which is a sports apparel, they're here in Charlottesville. They donated some items. I'm going to be putting up, as part of my world's competition package from Death Grip. I opened it up just the other day. My entire travel bag that I was sent, so full of waxes, the leather travel bag, the mustache wax, the shaving brush, the Night Fury. It's all going to be a raffle item. What else
Wow.
do we got? We got some more stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna put together a Mary Kay gift basket for the ladies that are there that might want to, put in some raffle tickets to try to win it. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
really pretty big gift basket.
Yep.
Well,
So,
And we're trying to have a Mary Kay table
oh yeah,
so that anybody that would like to try a couple of the things out,
you want to get
yeah.
beautified.
yeah.
Right.
That's
And
yeah.
that travel bag is nothing to mess with. That was
No,
beautiful.
no.
That was a beautiful
So
travel bag.
Yeah, and I mean it's got like all the waxes in it.
I was gonna say, Bob, all you have to do is sign that bad boy up and everything. Yeah, it's a little
You know,
signature in there.
You could sign it, Bob.
yeah, I could. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Yeah.
gentleman I think who's coming to the competition. He wants me to sign his mustache,
How
which
Wow.
I think he wants to do it with I think it's like a silver marker. Yeah, I mean I could sign that. There's a couple of things because it's got like the Death Grip Worlds T-shirt that came in
Okay.
the box. So this is
All
an
right.
extra
Wow.
because I already
Yeah.
have one, and I think it's got like the American flag, but it's like Death Grip. That's
Yeah.
gonna be in there. The bag's gonna be in there.
Yeah,
Wow.
come on.
Okay.
And like he said, if you're a mustache guy and you want to take them out, that you're taking them
That's
out.
right.
Yeah, I know, right? You're taking me out for a couple of
Yeah.
months because I'm not sure if they're gonna have nationals. I know the Great American is happening in California, I
Los
think in
Angeles.
Yeah.
yeah, Los Angeles, California in
Yeah, I heard that.
August. So if I had to shave it off, oh my gosh, that would give me 5 months to
Raven.
try to grow a natural mustache. But I
Yeah.
should be set for Worlds next year in Blackpool, England.
Blackpool,
Wow.
England. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where Worlds is next year. But
Yeah.
yeah, hey, all you mustache guys out there. I mean,
Right.
uh,
Yep.
hey Tara. But
Oh,
yeah, it's awesome. And I gotta mention it. So I don't have the picture of you up on stage, but I tried to look for it and stuff like that. But we do have this, and you have
I call
the
him Little Bob.
the little Bob. But 2025
Yeah.
Hungarian
Yep.
world champion, right?
Yep. I
Awesome.
am the current #1 Hungarian mustache in the world.
That's awesome. And
And the
that was his
mustache,
whole setup right
yeah,
there.
the
That's
mustache in the back, which is in English. I am the current #1 English mustache in the United States until the next nationals.
nice. Nice. Awesome. And it was something to see all the you're talking about Death Grip. They brought it. I mean, you guys were dressed to the
Yeah.
nines. I mean, it was just that table there. I mean, everybody looked so great, and there was so much mustache camaraderie, I should say,
Yeah.
that was there. It was awesome to see. It was very
Yeah.
awesome
Hats
to
off
see.
to Death Grip. I think I was the first one to compete for Death Grip, and that was in 2020. And I won my first national title. And then in 2021, I think there were 4 people in the styled handlebar category. And
Yeah.
then
Wow.
2022, it was getting a little bit bigger. In 2023, down in Daytona, it was bigger. A bunch of them went over to Germany for Worlds. And then we went to Everett, Washington, and there was like the most mustaches they'd ever had at a nationals. And then going to Worlds, a bunch of the guys came. Yeah, that shirt I'm wearing in that photo, I have one that is fresh in the box. Maybe I'll sign
Oh,
it.
okay. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my
Nice.
world Death Grip shirt. All the guys that competed for Death Grip got a world shirt.
Yeah. So that's Johnny Z Bearded. We all know Johnny Z Bearded. So I had that was at Worlds. And Like I said, I was trying to find different pictures of you, but we have one thing in common.
Yeah,
That's Michael
Oh,
McAndrew from
yeah,
Jessup, Pennsylvania. It's right down the
amazing.
road.
yeah.
He's my
Heart of
barber.
historic downtown Jessup. Three Saints
Yeah.
Barbershop.
Three Saints Barbershop, yep. And
He let
he's
me help him style his mustache. I was on my way to a competition in Syracuse, and I was like, I gotta stop. Love Mike and his wife,
yeah,
and stay the night. And he got up in the morning. He's like, help me do my mustache. So I was helping him tweak it. Great hot shave. He taught me. We did some filming in 2021 for a video series that Death Grip had. And so Mike, he's got an antique part of his barbershop, was showing me
hmm
how to hold and use a straight razor. That inspired me later to get into straight razor shaving.
yeah.
So
He's got his
love Mike.
speakeasy in the back. Where you guys are doing with an antique bar setup and all that stuff,
Yeah.
which was
That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, Mike's awesome. I've known him since his first shop that he had was Big Daddy, and he fit me in. I told him so. I was on a journey of growing my sides out before Worlds, and my sides and me are not the best. I don't got the genes like some people do and stuff like that. And I called him. Everybody told me you're going up on stage, and I wasn't gonna go with a choppy beard. So I
Yeah.
said, Mike, you got to help me out. I says you got to get me back to goatee and everything lining up and everything looking good again because it was like a mess and stuff like that. So he fit me in right before I took off to Pittsburgh to get me back to goatee so I could be up on stage.
Yeah, I was sad that he didn't make it out. I mean, I know he's like either the head or he's on the commission for like the Barbers Association for all of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yep.
Yeah, and in 2021 when Nationals was in Scranton, he had like a they had a bunch of barbers there,
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of the barbers. And if you're in the 6 to 12 category and they're measuring from the bottom of your lip to the longest hair, and you're at
Yeah.
13, you've either got to go up a category or you need to trim it. So they have barbers right there you go to and get it done. Do you just use Death Grip? No, I use a lot of different mustache waxes. I am fortunate that I get like 65, 70 companies around the world want to send me their product, give them feedback. Some are test waxes. And so I've got tubs full of wonderful unscented and scented waxes.
Can you say who you're making a video for soon
Well, I'm making a video for us.
that we went to the store for?
Yeah, I mean, through the social media presence, right? One of the things I try to do is be you, be genuine, and let your passions flow, right? Because if you're passionate about something, it comes across. If it's Legos, if it's putting mayonnaise over your eyes and making seal noises, right? If you're passionate about that,
You know.
eventually someone else sees it and they may not even find it that interesting, but they love the passion you bring behind it. And
Yeah.
so one of the things I've been trying to do is expose more people to men's grooming. My mustache is a door opener. And one of the things I've really been enjoying, I saw online the Antiquated Gent out of Mississippi. I saw him wet shaving, and I was like, wow, man, that just looks really cool. I got my first safety razor, so I started making videos. And so I'm doing a video. I've done a few for Schick, so I had to stop and pick up some of the stuff, and I got to go through and make sure that I do it, get it ready. They preview it. They tell me good or bad. Do you think you can do
Yeah.
this? And then
No, it's
so
cool.
it's nice.
I think that's
Yeah.
really cool because Schick's a
That's
pretty big, well-known company.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for them to hit you up and say, hey, we want you to make a video for one of our newest razors. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were
That is
showing the picture from the bare knuckle boxing film.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask you next.
Okay. So
What movie was that?
so it's on YouTube. It's called Alexander the Brain. It was shot all in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I had seen on Instagram that they were looking for extras, facial hair wanted, ages 18 to I think it was like 55. So I'm like, you know what? That's within driving distance. So I sent them my picture. And of course, at that time, I think I was the national champion from 2020. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I happen to also be, and then I took some photos doing different poses, and I'm like, I could style it this way or that way.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we want to do a video call with the executive producer, the writer and director, Danny Pulowski, I think it is. And they were all film students. And this was a work that they've been trying to put together. 1884, guy Alexander the Brain, which is Jacob Ames, who's out of Erie, Pennsylvania, comes home from the war. His father used to fight, but I guess he would throw fights or something. And Alexander the Brain was real, cocky, and he was going against the grain and wouldn't, take dives. And so I'm going to be an extra, and I'm on this video call, and I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to do the mustache like this? I did some research, and here's a couple of different mustaches I think I can do. Do you want me to have stubble, no stubble, sideburns? They said, no, that's good. We love the mustache. We're going to give you a speaking part, and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, awesome. So I got to be a character named Jimmy Allen, who got beat up by the main actor, the week before all of this. And then I was also in the background, of almost every one of the fight scenes. So, and that was awesome to do. Go up there. They shot for like 8 hours on Saturday, 8 hours on Sunday, and the two main actors, they just kept doing the fight scene. And the fake blood is like a chocolate syrup that they put a red dye in. So it smelled really good, but they're covering these guys in fake blood, and they're grappling. And we're in this old barn that they tied ropes to make a ring. And, it's 50 degrees out, and the guys are grappling, and they're now starting to stick to each other. And so when they say, okay, cut, reset, the guy's skin are like peeling, and they're like, we can't do this but so many times. And so I got to shoot my part Sunday evening, and it basically, the camera's on me. They want me to scream, and then I was supposed to race at the camera. And then the next shot was me knocked out as the main actor, Alexander the Brain, was stepping over me. So to cover up, I think a couple of my tattoos, I had to roll around on the floor of the horse barn and get dirt all over it. I'm sure there was a little bit of horse poo or whatever, but it was worth it. And then
right.
when I got back to the hotel to rinse off, my clothes had already started sticking because it covered me in the fake blood. And I'm rinsing it all out. And in the shower, it looked like a murder movie, horror movie, because it was just red everywhere and little rocks from the horse barn. So my
That's cool.
mustache got me into that, and that was so much fun to do.
Everybody's talking about your shirt. The
Right.
the pumpkin and the witch.
Oh
Be kind.
yeah.
Be
It's
kind.
not
Yeah.
Halloween, but
Yeah, no, I love the Summer Shirt Project. Wonderful group. Their daughter's autistic, and the family, they do T-shirts and socks and hoodies and all this stuff. And if you ever watch Jordan's progress, it went from like the first days they introduced her, she's got the headphones on and it's taking her forever to do one task. And now they should, and she's like rolling shirts and stamping stuff and rolling shirts. And I've got a hoodie around here somewhere from the Wrinkled Mess Club. She rolls her shirts up and she puts an armband around it and she's got a stamp. Somebody complained that the shirts Jordan do are always wrinkled. So they made a special Wrinkled Mess Club line, and I was like, I gotta buy it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But that's awesome.
I got a
Awesome.
Big
question
thing
for
is
you.
be kind to everyone.
Yeah, be kind.
Right. Right. I got a question for you. How long is your mustache when you stretch it from end to end?
Um, Probably just before my shoulders. The longest I've had it is 20 inches from tip to tip.
Wow. And how long does it
That's
take you
crazy.
to get it how you got it right now?
To style it. For the
Yeah.
most part, I can style it and put it together in like 7 minutes. Today I
Wow.
took a little bit longer. I was filming. I wanted to do this with Death Grip Sun Death and their original, and that's got a lot of pine rosin. And I wanted to make sure I spread it enough because this mustache will hold like this through the entire week. So I can shower, I can shave, I can go swimming. The pine rosin really pushes the water away because I get so many guys that are like, oh, my mustache wax really isn't holding, my mustache is falling apart. And I'm like, you got to tell me what you're doing. The biggest mistake I made was putting beard oil in my mustache and then putting mustache wax in because mustache wax is oil soluble. So after
Right.
an hour, and I'm like, the mustache won't firm. And then somebody said, well, you can't put beard oil in because it'll break down the wax.
Yeah.
And then, it started going a little faster.
Yeah, because some people they'll put beard oil in after, like if they want to get rid of it, they'll
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the beard oil to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Several companies have what they call a dedicated wax remover, right? So instead of, let's say a bottle of beard oil is $20. Well, you get
Yeah.
a wax remover for $16. The only time I use that is when I'm removing the wax. Otherwise, that coffee scented or the leather scented or all of that I'll use on other days. Let her come over.
Right.
She wants to be in the shot.
Uh, so I have another question. I got questions, man. Like I say, I
No, go
started
ahead.
them. So I'm starting using this beer mustache wax from this company,
Okay.
and it's the first time that I used it with they have resin on it, right? So when I put it
Okay.
on, I made the mistake that I applied it and I left
Yeah.
it in there, and then I started doing my beard. By the time I go back, it was so hard, it was a
Yeah.
little painful.
Oh yeah, you got what I would recommend is do your mustache first. Well, because you don't want oils on your fingers. So do your mustache first, and then put the beard oil in. That way you're not touching it. But yeah, if it's got a pine rosin in it, you may have to heat it with a hair dryer. The big thing is when you scoop it out, you want to be able to coat your fingers. So if you can't spread it, it's not warm enough. You want to be able to coat your fingers and then it transfers. And I always recommend go from the middle outward, right? If I can
Okay.
pull this loose, my middle hairs go all the way down here. And it's like starting the foundation of a skyscraper. You can't start at the top. You got to start at the bottom. Because the more you talk, the more you drink, that warm air is going to loosen it up. So if you're only putting it out here, you're going to get a lot of the hairs that come down like this. So you go from the middle and push outward. And don't
Okay.
don't
Excellent.
twist. When you twist, that puts a lot of tension down here. What I do is I call it like pencil shaping. I'll take it out and then I take my hand and I do like that, trying to make a cone out of it. Because
Okay.
I used to try to twist and I'd have one that would go forward, one that would go back, and I was like, oh. And then if you try to comb it to adjust it, I was losing so much hair because the hair is all matted in like this
All right.
versus being in like this. And all I'm doing is I'm just taking it like that and making a cone.
Okay.
See, I learned something new
See?
because everything you said, I mean, I was doing it yesterday by mistake. I mean, it hurt when
Yeah.
I right away I knew what I was doing wrong
While it's a
because
little
I
damp,
left it.
take a hair dryer, start with like medium heat, and just start blowing it towards your ears, right? Take a brush, brush it across, brush it underneath like this, but give it a direction. That way, you know, you don't have it curving around and now you're trying to fight that natural curve. You've already given
Right.
it a little bit of direction. And then as you put the wax in, you know, it helps the shape. Copper John, Sudden Death, got some Kilt Beer Company wax, others you recommend. Depending on your environment, there's a lot of great ones out there. There's some people that are allergic to pine rosin. Bottle Virtue is a wonderful mustache wax. There's primary and secondary. Primary is medium wax. Secondary, you should, I see a dog. Secondary, you should use a little bit of a hair dryer, and I would put that
Stop.
on after the primary.
You know.
Another good one I've used is Firehouse Mustache Wax. They're out of Mississippi, and they have like three blends, and they designed it to combat the Mississippi humidity. But as always, I always go center outward, dry clean mustache. That way I have a foundation for my routine. And if I start doing this and I can't really rub it, then I heat it up. And if it's really, really, I mean, there's some that are like extra strong. I'll put one wax in and then put those over. Because I tried the Death Grip Original. The first time I grabbed it, I tried to put it in and then my fingers got stuck in my mustache because I mean, it's strong stuff.
So I got another question. Have you used so the one I was talking about was from Kill Beer, and they have three. They have the like the beginning one is just kind of like just almost like wax, just regular
Yep.
wax. And then they have the anchor, that's the one I use, and then they have one, not the anchor, they have the recon, that's the one I use, and the anchor one. The anchor one's supposed to be like real hard. I
Yeah,
use
Yeah,
competition.
Aqua Imagine because
competition
I
grade.
use
Yeah.
because I use the recon, and that's it's hard.
Yeah.
That's the one I
You
use.
might you might want to
It, it,
start with the other one because it's good for training. And usually with a medium hold mustache wax or light, you take out a little bit, only rub it a little bit. You want it to be just a little sticky, right? And then you start pushing it away, and then you can use a comb to kind of spread it. And a lot of people they want that kind of like natural look, but use a mustache wax. And
Yeah.
so you want to use a little less, but you want to make it kind of sticky so that it's still grabbing those loose hairs, but you're able to shape it. And then you can take a cool air from the blow dryer and blow it. And you could like I'll hold it and blow it and then like hold the tips. Raven, come on, baby. She thinks we got bacon. She is a hound for some bacon. A lot of it comes down to just a lot of practice and
Yeah.
having patience. Oh man, because every couple weeks that the hair's going to grow a little bit, and all of a sudden it's not laying the way it was before, and you're tempted to start trimming it. Next thing you know, you got a little sliver, and you got to take it
Yeah.
off.
yeah,
I always say wait 3 weeks, right? If you're like, oh, I need to trim it, give it 3 weeks. So that way it grows out a little bit more. Maybe it lays a little different. All right. I notice you always have 988 in all your posts. Can you briefly speak on why you do that and why it's so important personally? So I use my mustache to open the door, as I mentioned before. My passions are men's health and mental health awareness and suicide prevention. The male part of our culture is like walk it off, rub some dirt on
yep,
it. Nobody wants to hear you whining, all of this stuff. And so men typically take it, store it away, take it, store it away, right? Because that's what we're expected to do.
Hmm.
And so what happens is eventually that barrier that you've built, right? It breaks. And when it breaks, and I've had that happen to me. I have PTSD from being in the army, and 20 years later, was watching a video at work. It was a safety day video, and they had an active shooter. Now I've shot guns, I've done hunting, I've played COD and Battlefield, and I still do. And all of a sudden, that video, when the guy, he was the gun was discharging, the people were screaming. It was like every barrier I had broke. And it was like being in a tidal wave of emotions and all kinds of things that I have never dealt with, that didn't even know it was existed, just overwhelmed me. And sometimes that feeling, you'd do anything to make it stop. And it's scary, right? It's scary because you don't know where it came
right.
from. You don't know how to
Hmm.
stop it. And what most men do is they don't know how to be vulnerable to talk to someone because they're made fun of, and there's like a shame, tied to that. So I put that in a lot of my videos because my hope is that somebody sees it and they think of that before they do something, that other people will have to deal with. I mean, I'd rather listen to you or come get you, listen to you for an hour than I would be to speak at your funeral,
Hmm.
Yep.
And so I
You're right.
do my part and try to tell you you're not alone. There's a lot more resources out there than you really know, like the Mary Kay Ash Foundation that is providing grants to shelters for victims of domestic violence. A lot of those people,
Right.
they think they have nowhere else to go, and it's like, well, I'm just going to stay here. Oh
Yep.
yeah, definitely, anytime. It's something I like to talk about.
And it's true what you just said, that point, and then I'm grateful that you open up and said that, because a lot of men is in a culture, even in the culture, or just typical of a man, it's like, yeah, we're the providers, we're the strong, but they don't realize we have feelings too, and eventually
Yeah,
everything we keep it bottled up. I mean, me and Baker were talking about this the other day. I had a little breakdown here a few weeks ago, and then I just posted something. I said, like, I'm overwhelming and super and crying every hour. I went to
yeah,
sleep. I didn't I didn't think about when I posted it. I slept for 3 hours. When I got up, brother, I had like almost over 100 messages, just people reaching out and stuff like that. And I'm usually the one that's always referring to it, but it is true. Like I said, it's don't be I always say this: don't be a statistic. Be part of the solution. It's never too late to reach out and
yeah,
make that phone call,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
it's always time for that phone call. You get
Yeah.
when you do something unreversible, that's when there's no time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the big thing for me, and I think a lot of guys is, you know, you have some traumatic event. Me, I lived through the mass shooting at Fort Bragg in 1995, right? 19 guys were shot. I used my body as a human shield, and bullets going by, guys being hit. You had no time to deal with it. Everybody like, don't worry about it, suck it up. You weren't shot. Everything's good. And then 20 years
Right.
later, but there were times where, for no apparent reason, I felt like I would never be happy again. Right? And I didn't know where that came from, so that made me mad. And then I'm mad over something I didn't know that made me sad, that made me mad. It became this
Hmm.
vicious cycle. I didn't want to be around anyone. I felt like I was gonna snap. I think my daughter one time dropped. I had my back to the refrigerator and she dropped like the mayonnaise, and that fight or flight came in, and I mean and then I was like, why am I feeling this way? Then I felt really sad, and then I was angry. So there are a
Hmm.
lot of things out there to provide you with the tools to understand and face it. I mean, I still don't like to go in extremely crowded places, but one of the things I've learned through a lot of this stuff is knowing when those feelings are coming, that they're okay. And then,
Right.
it's amazing what breathing can do. It sounds funny. Well, just take a breath. No, because when your body is like, all right, I'm preparing you to fight, right? We don't know where it came from, but I'm preparing you to fight. So I'm ramping up all your senses, your heart rate's up, your breathing gets less. And unless you take care, control of the breathing, it can get out of hand, and all of a sudden you get dizzy and all of that stuff. So that's
Hmm.
where, you get to the point where you're like, screw it, nobody cares. And the world would be better without me, blah, blah, blah. Call that number, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Agree.
It's okay to
Agree.
ask
And
for help. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of stigma around mental health, and there shouldn't be.
No.
right.
Nope. I agree.
And
100%.
Bob,
Good.
yep.
Huh?
Let me say first, I want to say this. I'm proud for, thank you for your service.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
thank
I'd do
you
it
a lot.
again in a heartbeat. I mean, they
And
paid me to
then
jump out of
breaking that.
airplanes.
I wouldn't do that though. Not me, but not jumping out of the airplanes. I'm
If you
afraid of
know, if
heights,
you
and
if
I'm
you do it right, they're all night jumps. You just jump out like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Hey,
Jay,
I'm
that's
going to
awesome. Any therapy that
yeah,
helps you, buddy. Awesome.
yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then breaking the chains is the main thing because that's what you're doing. You're breaking the chains because if you got kids around, uh, if you got kids in your family and you went through something and you keep quiet, and the kids are seeing that, right?
Yeah.
You eventually it's a cycle, and the cycle is gonna keep going. So, um, she was talking about earlier about uh, abuse relationship. In my first marriage, I was part of. I was the man that's getting abused physically and
Yeah.
emotionally. And when I used to talk about it, they laughed because I'm a big guy, and she was,
Yeah.
and you know, they thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And my wife was the same part. My wife now was the same part of that. She was into abusive relationship, and one of the things that we try to do now is we want to break the chains because we have a
Yeah.
son, and we don't want that. We want completely, break the chains of that because we don't want them to go through it. So we do things different. Talk about it. Just stuff that you got to break the chains because if not, it's gonna keep going. The cycle is gonna keep going around, right? Think that
Hmm.
that's okay, and it's not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There's a you know how we said that 1 in 4 women in their lifetime will, be subject to domestic violence. Well, it's 1 in 7 men. So that's
Yeah,
mm,
It can
is
happen
yeah,
to guys. And
yeah,
most guys, they're not going to say anything. They're ashamed. Because like you said, like, hey man, blah blah blah, what's going on? And like, "Pfft, what are you talking about? You're the man. You're the
yeah,
yeah,
man. That can't
yeah.
happen to you."
it can.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
only
for
so
sure.
much that being a man you can do. I say it all the time. There was some hard times that I went through this past year and stuff like that. There's only so much that you can stuff down. Those pockets don't, have
Yeah.
an
They're only so deep.
unlimited supply.
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
and
And
Yeah,
if
and
if you're online, I joke about this because even the trolls, I laugh all the way to the bank. It's like, if I see something I don't like, I swipe up. But there are
yeah,
just some people out there, they are just not
They are
happy
mean.
and they
yeah,
yeah,
gotta say something. There's a young lady who is documenting her weight loss on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah, Taylor.
And I give her credit, man. She's out there. She was going up and down the stairs, going up and down the
yeah,
stairs, and
yeah.
people, instead of going, "Hey, you're doing a good job," they're
Right.
like, "Look at you in that outfit. You're so fat, and you're
Oh my
this and that,"
gosh.
and making all these references. And it's like, if you don't know that people are just going to say dumb stuff, that
Yeah.
can really get to you. And what I do for most of the comments are like, shave that dumb crap off your face. I just leave $3 signs because that comment's making me money. And if you don't know how an algorithm works, oh, that's so disgusting. You just told the algorithm through your view and your comment, you find it interesting. It's now
Yeah.
going to show you more
yeah,
content like the
Yeah.
one you said is disgusting. And if it's on one of these that have who your friends are, it's going to start suggesting my stuff to them and their
yep,
family. And I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank, you know?
You're right. You're 100% right. Everybody says it like, they'll Google something and, whatever it is, a washer and dryer. All of a sudden, Facebook is showing you washer and dryers
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
sale,
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You got to purge
it's,
some of the
hey,
stuff with cat videos, right?
Cat videos.
You go down one of these weird pigeonholes and you're like, how did I get here? And you're just like, let me
yeah.
start
yeah.
Oh yeah,
watching cat videos. Yeah,
But
people are horrible online.
Yeah,
They can
they
sit behind
are.
the keyboards. I've had people tell me that I should have died
Oh
that
yeah.
day on at Fort Bragg.
oh
I've heard
wow.
that multiple times, and how pathetic and disgusting everybody's laughing at you, and I'm like, not as much as I'm laughing going all the way to the bank with your troll comment.
yeah,
Wow. It is. It's so, ruthless out there. And I've seen some of your posts lately saying about, your mustache, and all this stuff. And you're basically just saying, it's opened doors for me and this is it.
Yeah,
I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. And of course, like you said, each one of your posts, Kay brought it up there that, basically helping the mental aspect of things. And it's just keyboard trolls that I
yeah.
don't like.
I had I had a lady that I ran into at Walmart. Her and her teenage daughter love my mustache. We started talking, and she's like, "Well, my daughter, she does art stuff, but she doesn't know if she should put it online." I said, "Look, here's, be you, be genuine, be passionate."
Mhm.
I said, "My mustache is a door opener. It allows me to talk about men's health, mental health awareness, suicide prevention, and all that stuff." And she almost started breaking down into tears. And her daughter started talking to me about, social media, posting things. She hit me up later and told me that was the first time her daughter had been that animated and excited about something in a long time. She had been in like a funk, but she said she thought it was really neat that here it was, this guy who's creating these posts online, and one of the things he does is the mental health awareness. So,
Yeah.
you never know who you're going to influence or who out there might see
Hmm.
your stuff and say, I want to try something like that. Like I said, shaving, I saw the antiquated gent and I was like, I want to try that.
Yeah. There you go. So we're
It
coming
is.
up on the hour here, and stuff like that. Anything? I don't know. Did we mention everything about the comp? I mean, the
I think so,
21st,
but
the
I'll go
brewery.
right back through it.
Yes, please go back
It,
through it.
well,
Operation
just
Whisker Lift, Saturday, February 21st, 4 to 7 p.m. at Decipher Brewing of Charlottesville. It is dog friendly. There are many categories out there for like beards and mustaches, whiskerina type stuff. Bring your ladies, your kids. They can make stuff and compete. All proceeds from the competition are going to go towards the Mary Kay Ash Foundation, which already has raised $100 million to give out grants to shelters for victims of domestic violence and to end cancer for women. It's going to be a great time. There's a wonderful drink at from Decipher Brewing. There's going to be a Jamaican food truck. We're going to have some raffle items. It's going to be a wonderful time. And if we hit
awesome.
$10,000 by the end of that evening, I will shave off the #1 Hungarian mustache in the world for charity.
Awesome.
And
Thank you
Yep.
for
it's
doing
going to
that.
be exciting and fun with him as the MC. Like,
Yeah.
it is not going to be boring for
I don't
even
know.
1 second.
He's a little shy. He's a little shy in
Oh,
talking,
Little
so
shy here and
you
here.
know.
yeah, he's
I'll be the MC. Nobody can look at me. All my competitions, I turn around backwards, and I'm like, I don't want the crowd to see me.
oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you. That's
Kenny.
so sweet.
It is it's great. I mean, this brings everything that we're trying to do. Bob, I started the show to kind of get the comp world out there more and do with the charities and stuff. I
Right.
mean, you're the comp world, you're mental health, you've been around, you're known, and I do appreciate you sharing my name. But
You might have had it first. I mean, I'm like 21, so I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, I'm like 24, they're around there. But no, I do very much appreciate you, Bishop, hooking this up. I really appreciate you, my brother. And it's great going to these comps. Don't be afraid. Just go, enjoy yourselves, have some fun,
Absolutely.
eat some good
Look at
food.
the look at the razors.
That was
Wow.
cool. I saw that in
That
person.
is
I'm telling you,
unique.
it was
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah. I mean, the competitions are great, but when you get a little Bob, a 9-inch little Bob with his little chaps and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, he should not dress like that in public because the women were going crazy. I was gonna have to get like a stick and beat him off or something. Like back, back.
Yep.
Well,
Hey,
like I said,
all you gotta
even
do is
Death
get a
Grid.
shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
get a shirt. Say I belong to him, or he belongs
Yeah.
to me. Right.
Or just carry that big stick. Either or.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you
That's
guys
right.
for having us on. This is
Yes,
awesome. Don't forget, if you get a chance, hit up that contributor on
I
YouTube.
will. I'm gonna look
We'll get
into it
straight
right
out of
after
it.
this,
Yep.
And
and that'd be definitely great. I really do appreciate that too. But like I said, I'm new, so I've been trying things. But awesome, thank you so much. But Bishop, any last words?
Bob, Kaylin, thank you for being here. Thank you, Bob. Sorry that I know. I mean, I must have blown. I must have blown up your text and Instagram 1,000 times. But when I want something, I'm really persistent and I try.
No, no,
And
that's good.
this particular reason it worked out. I just wanted to, when I saw that, I told Baker, I said, man, we have to have him in the show because he's gonna put that massive mustache in the line for the charity, and I think that it'd be good for them to get it promoted, and of
Yeah.
course, us. And I do have one last question, Bob. Do you have a
All
name
right.
for your mustache?
I
Oh, we
do. So it's
didn't even mention
yeah,
that.
Elliott Norris. So I'm Bob, and of course this is Elliott Norris, my mustache. So I made the joke that if Sam Elliott and Chuck Norris had a baby, it would be my mustache. And I posted about it, and then it kind of caught on, and that became part of my brand, Bob and Elliott, his mustache. So that's the
That's,
story.
I didn't even
Yeah.
bring that up. I put it in the title and all that stuff, and I didn't even bring that up. But
No, no, that's
yeah,
fine.
that's awesome.
And the
No,
last time I shaved my upper lip was December 22nd, 2018.
they enjoyed the cat
Oh,
also.
right. Oh yeah.
But
But
He's a
it,
show
if by
stealer.
any chance, that mustache goes, we know it's going to be for a great charity. And the good thing is, we know it's going to grow back, probably better. You know,
Well, probably more white.
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
true. That is true.
But all right, guys. So thank you everybody that shows up today. Thank you for sticking in and the great questions always out there in the chat. I love it. To my mods, putting all those links in there. You guys are awesome. But again, this is what's the crack, and Bishop, thank you for hooking us up, and Bobby, Caitlin, I hope you make $10,001.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna be looking forward to see a shaved mustache. I really do.
Right.
Well, make it
There you
rain.
go. There you
Make it
go.
rain.
Make it rain. That's right.
But guys, again, thank you so much. And I'll be back next Sunday, and be on Bishop's show and stuff like that. So enjoy and have a great night, guys.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Cilantro.
Thank you.
Cilantro, yeah. Thank you, Bishop.